Chair recognizes the Minority Leader of the House, Leader Abrams, for an invite resolution. The clerk will read the caption to House Resolution 1726.
House Resolution 1693 by Representative Abrams of the 89th, Smyre of the 135th, Wilkinson of the 52nd, Brooks of the 55th, Gardner of the 57th, and others. A resolution recognizing the National Center for Civil and Human Rights Incorporated for its plan to open its museum this summer in downtown Atlanta and inviting its board of directors to be recognized by the House of Representatives and for other purposes.
Leader Abrams.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It is my honor to recognize today the leaders of our state who have helped bring forward the National Center for Civil and Human Rights. We have joining us today, we have Deborah Richardson, who's the Executive Vice President, A.J. Robinson, who is a board member and also is the head of Central Atlanta Progress, Ernest Greer, who is a board member and also serves as this year's chair of the Georgia Chamber of Commerce, and Doug Shipman, who serves as the CEO of the National Center for Civil and Human Rights. This is a transformative organization that has not only physically transformed Atlanta, but will transform the way we operate and the way we think about civil and human rights. And I would like to turn it over now to Doug Shipman to talk about the work that he's done and the exciting news that he has for us.
Thank you so much. Good morning. It is such a pleasure to be here and an honor to be joined by my colleagues who represent so many who have worked on this project. A little over 10 years ago, several people who were deeply involved in the civil rights movement, who were based in Georgia, came forward to say that we needed a new institution not only to talk about the history of Georgia and the history of the American civil rights movement, but to talk about how that movement connects to contemporary issues of human rights nationally and internationally. And as we look around the world and as we see protesters in Egypt holding up signs that reference the I Am a Man signs from Memphis in 1968, as we see women who are fighting for the right to drive in Saudi Arabia and they're proclaimed as the freedom riders of their country, the relevance of the stories that we have here continue to have a global impact. And so for the last 7 years, we have been building and fundraising to open the National Center for Civil and Human Rights, which will showcase the stories of the past in ways that will address contemporary issues. We will also highlight contemporary issues, and we will showcase the Morehouse College Martin Luther King Jr. collection, which is a collection of documents related to the American Civil Rights Movement and Dr. King. We've been so fortunate to receive land from the Coca-Cola Company to build this project next to the aquarium and the World of Coca-Cola, next to Centennial Olympic Park in downtown Atlanta. The city of Atlanta, under the leadership of Mayor Franklin and Mayor Reed, through Invest Atlanta, has invested in this project, and so many of our corporate, foundation, and individual philanthropists, both here nationally and internationally, have invested to make this a world-class facility that will host hundreds of thousands of people every year, will host events and convenings and trainings on our event space, and we'll have a broadcast facility to showcase the work and the stories of civil and human rights around the world. I was fortunate enough to host a delegation from the Department of Economic Development last week, and we talked about all the ways in which this can be a catalyst for visitors and for convenings in our state, and a way for us to showcase our great legacy when it comes to civil and human rights. One note about that power of convening that these stories still have: every year, the Nobel Peace Prize laureates, all the winners of the Nobel Peace Prize and all the organizations that have won the prize, convene together for 4 days to talk about the issues of peace around the world. This past year, they were in Warsaw, Poland. This year, they are in Cape Town, South Africa. In 2015, they will convene in Atlanta, Georgia. 4,000 people, 400 members of the global press, to talk about the issues of justice and rights. And we at the National Center for Civil and Human Rights are very proud to be one of the hosts of that event, and we look forward to hosting these kinds of events upon our opening in May of this year. And so I would simply like to thank so many in this body, both governors that we have developed this project under, Governor Perdue and Governor Deal, and so many others who have brought this to fruition. And I would invite each and every one of you to come personally to visit us and also to bring your meetings and your events to our space when they have to do with civil and human rights and the stories of the great people past and present who have worked on these issues. We are proud to bring this new institution forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.